everyone. It is the regular city council meeting for Monday, November 25th, 2024. I will call the meeting to order, and we'll call stand up and say the pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can I have roll call, please, Cheryl?
Jason Johnson?
Yes.
Bill Meyer?
Yes.
Adam Ryder?
Yes. Number 4, approval of the agenda. Any questions, comments with anything on there? If not, we'll ask for a motion to approve as presented.
Make a motion to approve as presented the agenda.
Second.
Second.
And roll call, please.
J.C. Thompson?
Yes.
Adam Ryder?
Yes.
Bill Meyer?
Yes.
5 we can skip, so 6, the consent agenda. Pretty short and sweet.
Didn't have any building permits or rebates or anything this
Okay,
time, so.
perfect. Okay, so I'll ask for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second. And roll call, please.
Adam Ryder?
Yes.
Bill Meyer?
Yes.
J.T. Thompson?
Yes.
Do we need to wait? Is Kelly still coming, or is she?
She's can't be here, but
Okay.
I told her that I could go ahead
Okay.
and we had to get this done, so.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so let's jump to 7, resolution 2024-14, discuss and consider approval of the fiscal year 24-25 TIF certification, authorizing the internal advance of funds for payment of urban renewal projects. So Cheryl, what do you got on that?
Okay, the resolutions as it's written, the top whereas are typical every year, and then once you get down to section 1, it's certifying the amount of $30,000 to the county auditor for the advance. That advance includes, so far we've had $75,000 for $7,500 for Family Cairo. We've had $5,000 for Kim Anderson pharmacy incentive, and Kelly helped me with this, and we just estimated put total of 30 in there to provide for any funding that we may have this year, and we always change that when we decertify or whatever next year. Section 2 is total of $28,223. That's the Plastics Unlimited TIF. They have unlimited rebate, so their rebate on their property is 75% of what their taxes would as a rebate for, I think, 10 years. So we have to. This is the first year we're certifying that because their first payment will be this year. And then it just kind of, so those two the total certification this year would be $58,223. We kind of look at that. Where is that? The summary we put together that kind of shows ending of 2024, our ending balance for the TIF was $5,222. And report shows that we did make the payments last year, $12,500 to JCEA, $75.25 for Jackie's Ice Cream, and then $75 for Gator Graphics. So that gave our ending balance as a negative of $22,303. In last year's for fiscal year, the current year that we're in for 2025, we certified $112,223. So that breakdown includes the ones that makes up the negative for what we actually spent and we hadn't certified for. So now we're collecting on that in addition to what we know we have to, we'll be paying out this year. So those were being collected on. So the resolution is what we're certifying for fiscal year 26. So then we'll start collecting that in next fiscal year. So there was, part of the certification included a decertifying of $15,980. That was in there, and it was unknown to them at the time that our interfund loan for the sewer replacement for plastics, that has been paid back to the gas. So we didn't need that $15,900, so we took that off the books, basically. So that's what the resolution, it requires resolution, and then that gets sent to that along with the proof of publication gets sent to the Department of Management and to the county, so they know how to disperse the taxes.
We're basically just certifying it so we can get reimbursed.
Yep. And that breakdown that she provided just kind of shows where we were at, where all the money's going to this year, and where we're gonna, what we're gonna collect for next year.
Okay. Well, yeah. It's doing what it's supposed to do, so.
Yeah.
Does anybody have questions on anything with that? I like the breakdown, that's helpful.
It does, it kind of just keeps you guys informed, and it keeps us on track. This will,
Yeah.
when it comes to next year, what do we do and where are we at, what do we, then we can kind of keep a spreadsheet on what comes up this year so we can itemize it out and know what we're trying to collect and certify for and
Yeah,
come take a look at.
that's a good way to do it. Okay, any other discussion needed on that, questions? If not, I will ask for a motion to approve that resolution.
Make motion to approve resolution 2024-14 as presented.
I'll second.
And roll call, please.
Joe Meyer,
Yes.
J.C. Thompson,
Yes.
Adam Ryder.
Yes.
Number 8, discuss and consider approval of the annual urban renewal report for fiscal year 23 and 24.
Okay. The annual renewal report is actually just a detailed report showing exactly where all our revenues came in from and what was expensed out in the last fiscal year, ending June 30th of 2024. So, the revenues are on the summary sheet, the revenues are at the top. So the total revenues and other sources. The last column of this sheet shows, what was budgeted for, and the column C is what was actually brought in. So if you look at the total revenues from all the different revenue sources, we actually budgeted more than what we actually brought in. The Department of Management doesn't really care if you don't get what you think you may be getting, and you can overestimate on some things. But if you go down to the expenditures, the total of all expenditures came in, came in $1,242,243 under budget. So that resulted in overall increase in our ending fund balance in $1,067,466. So basically came in under budget on that. So that kind of, it just, like I said, this report gives a summary of what was the actuals were. So when this gets imported into the budget for when we do the budget, those numbers are all in there, because it shows your actuals, what was, and then we can base the next budget off those. And the full report included all the different revenue pages, the breakdowns of the general fund, the special, and basically it's like just redoing the whole budget over, only with actual numbers instead of guesses. And you have to get them in all the right little parts of the form. Our auditors did implement the numbers after they got done with our, exam this year. She had all the numbers from fiscal year end, so this is the second year in a row that she's done those. I've since, I'm doing webinars and trainings to get more familiarized with knowing where she came from with these numbers and from the reports on where they go. So hopefully by next year, I will be able to, do this on our own with maybe possibly a little guidance from her, but that in all in all is the actual AFR. So it's nothing that has to be totally approved, it's just highly recommended that it's reviewed with you guys to be transparent. And I mean, they're actual numbers, you can't really
Right.
not approve them for any
Right.
reason, so. And then, yeah, that gets uploaded to the Department of Management and, yeah.
So what does that do since we were over budgeted for that? I mean, does it just go back, whatever we don't use, or how does that?
It just stays in the general fund, so
Okay.
like the summary said, it increased our general fund,
Okay.
fund balances,
Okay.
so. We just didn't spend it, so
Mhm.
from what we budgeted, we didn't spend $1 million, but we thought we were going to.
I wasn't sure if it worked the same way as, everything else, basically in the budget or not.
No, we didn't lose it, it's just that we didn't spend it.
Okay.
So we don't need a motion or anything for this?
I think I will go ahead and have you approve it, just to say it's our way of documenting that you did review it and you're good with submitting it to the Department of Management.
Anybody have questions on anything with that?
The financial,
Is the annual financial report?
yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the annual financial report for the fiscal year 2023-24.
Second.
Second.
And roll call, please.
Adam Ryder,
Yes.
JT Thompson,
Yes.
Bill Meyer.
Yes.
Okay.
Did I skip 8? Sorry about that. The TIF certification is approved by resolution, but we do actually have to approve the annual urban renewal report, which, is basically everything what's in the TIF certification, but the report that is filed with the Department of Management, is separate. The TIF certification goes to the county, the, urban renewal report goes to the state. Basically, based on what the summary that Kelly provided in that, update, that kind of shows your 5,000 starting balance, what we spent, and it's actually what we're certified, but it's all in a report that goes to the state. So there's a negative 22,303, and then, it just kind of lists our urban renewal areas. A repeat of the first page tells what projects are in our urban renewal areas. Jackson County Economic Alliance is the money we give them for, support and membership. Downtown revitalization, and then, plastics unlimited rebates. And, yeah, we gave 12,500 last year. We are on schedule to give them 13,000 this year through Jackson County Economic Alliance. And the sewer relocate, that's that 15,980 that we paid last year, but we won't be collecting for it this year. just everything in the TIF in a report to the state, basically, and, that does need to be approved by council.
With the school being in our TIF district, with them adding that greenhouse, will that do anything? Will that change that at all?
And the greenhouse,
Yeah.
we're not gonna collect, well, that may increase their property or taxes, but, we always, last year we didn't certify anything against the school, but it's hard to explain, I don't understand it well enough.
I just wasn't sure if there was, because I know when, you know, if things are in your TIF district, if, you know, if they update, put on addition or whatever, I don't know, I thought there was a way you could get more out of that. Or no?
Their valuation may go up and what they
Right.
tax for. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly how
Okay.
that greenhouse in specifically will affect TIF revenues for us or them.
Okay,
I don't know how to answer that.
okay. Just, yeah, I wasn't sure.
I could ask and see if I can get an explanation.
Yeah, so maybe just, maybe just check with somebody and just see if that'll change anything on our end for our TIF district or not.
Okay.
Because it's all based on taxable, right?
Your taxable valuations.
Yeah, just see what you can find out.
Do you know how much that is estimated to cost or add value?
I think the total cost was like $225,000, I think, but I don't know what the, it's been a while ago, I don't remember. Right, I don't remember for sure, but I think it was something close to that.
Well, probably won't be assessed on taxes for a whole year, would it, once it's done? Like, they're always a year behind on that stuff.
Right. And I don't remember too, with the school, if we just kind of negate that and don't collect anything, because I thought there was something where we could collect on it, but so can the school. The school gets a certain, if I'm thinking about this right, and we just kind of, yes, we can collect on it if we need to, but typically we let the school take it, is kind of what I was, if I'm
The
thinking
school
about.
gets their share and we get our share, and we have to send letters to the school,
Right,
on what portion they're not getting because of our TIF district.
okay,
And they usually, they're all for increment financing, and
yeah,
so that it's never been something that they're excluded. So,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, TIF isn't tricky.
It is.
There's so much to it. But yeah, just double check on that to see
Okay.
if that'll change anything on our end with the greenhouse addition.
Okay, so maybe we can go ahead and approve the annual renewal report again, or, since I skipped it?
Yeah.
They tie into each
Urban
other, so
renewal.
we just got out of order here.
I'll make a motion to approve the annual urban renewal report for fiscal year 2023, 2024.
Second.
Okay, roll call please.
J.T. Thompson,
Yes.
Adam Ryder,
Yes.
Jill Meyer.
Yes.
Okay, number 10, resolution 2024-13, consider approval of plat of survey parcel 111-2024, McNeil Family Trust. So I'm assuming this has something to do with the last one that we,
Yeah,
Portion.
oh, that's right.
Big section, the one I highlighted in pink is what we passed last time. It's actually the same property, but they wanted two different,
That's right.
it constituted establishing two different plats.
Okay.
So you got parcel 111-2024 and then the other one that and he sent them both to me actually at the same time, but I overlooked it, I just thought it was the same one he sent twice, and it's actually two different parcels. So since that one was missed, it's just, approving them both, and approving the addition of that one.
Okay. Can I make a motion to approve that?
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2024-13.
Second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Dillmeyer,
Yes.
Adam Ryder,
Yes.
J.T. Thompson.
Yes.
Number 11, approval of revised project completion and change order number 1, final for the Amos Street reconstruction project.
They just didn't, they noticed in the bid item 313 of the part of the construction, they missed $402.50, so it was not paid up to 100% with the last one. So they just revised it by adding that as an additional $402.50 to the change order for the final. And so it had to be approved all over again, basically.
So are we approving the whole final?
Yeah, we did approve it last time, last meeting, but with this revised, because they missed $402, we have to reapprove it.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the revised project completion and change order number 1 for the final Amos Street reconstruction 2024 project.
Second?
Second.
And roll call, please.
Dillmeyer,
Yes.
J.T. Thompson.
Yep.
Adam Ryder.
Yes.
Okay, 12, review comp plan and goal setting for budgeting purposes. So I wanted this on there, and I kind of up in the air as far as what we should all do tonight. I'd really like to have a full council when we kind of talk about this. We can kind of touch on it, and I can kind of just tell you my general thoughts. So like I said, I kind of wanted, with kind of everything that we've been talking about here the last couple months, different projects, different things that we're trying to update. I thought it'd be a good idea to just kind of go back over our goal setting session that we had. It's been 4 years ago now. For the ones that weren't on council then, just to kind of give a review of what we saw as priorities then, and kind of what we can cross off and what we can try to reprioritize moving forward for this, because we're going to be starting budget time here in the next month or two. So just a good review. And I guess I don't know what everybody's thoughts are, if they got a chance to kind of look over that goal setting. I would say there's a handful, a decent amount of topics on there that we can pretty much cross off. So I guess it's just updating that, and comprehensive plan is a little more in-depth than the goal setting. So it just kind of gives us a roadmap moving forward for kind of what we want to accomplish, and what we see as priorities, and things change, things come up as you go through the year, and stuff like that. So I guess I just kind of wanted to start the discussion, and just kind of see what everybody's thoughts were. We don't have to get real in depth with it tonight, because like I said, I'd really like to do it with the full council, so we can get everybody's input on it. But yeah, I guess just kind of start with review of what we've, what we've accomplished in the last 3.5, 4 years, and
Yeah, I just kinda want a direction of how we wanna start. Do we, from what I could find, there was questionnaires set out, everybody listed 5, and then we compiled them, prioritized them, and then judging by the tiers, I guess, it kind of, and like you said, and this is something I found, it must have been looked at again since the initial, report that was done by Callahan's, that this one kind of gives what has been top priorities and what's been accomplished. So with this list, I think it'd give us something to start on and at least make a list of what's not crossed off per se, and maybe we can prioritize from there. These were the responses from issues, concerns, trends. And what was the goal setting and what we've actually done to meet those goals so far. Things like attracting businesses and families and utility infrastructure, police contracts. We've got, like I said, we have crossed a lot of these off, but if we want to just start a list of things that are not, I can probably put them on some kind of a form, kind of like at the exhibits, we can start with the elected responses and use this outlined and just kind of revamp it.
yeah, that's what I kind of wanted to put out tonight too, was would it be helpful, if we, discussed it, a little bit tonight, but then kind of tabled it and we put it back on next meeting, and everybody comes in with a top 5 or a top 10, whatever everybody kind of thinks.
Yeah, I'd like to do that.
And then we can either rank them or, prioritize them however we want to, if it's depending on by department or, there's different ways to go about it, but, just to kind of get everybody thinking, and kind of, like I said, a roadmap of where we wanna go. Not that we're gonna accomplish, 50% of it in the next budget, that's obviously probably not realistic, but, it just starts the conversation and helps us prioritize. I think that's having goals, and having things we can work towards and cross off. I think keeps everybody moving, together, and moving forward, so we don't get stagnant. Basically, and it's kind of
Off that list, there's quite a few that the city has done.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Maybe in the homework assignment, what are some new things that may have came up since the last
Right.
what are your new priorities?
Right. And so that's what I mean. It's helpful to see that and what's been done, but then also think about what we've talked about just in the last year or two, and put those on there. I'll kind of update it and just.
I'd like to hear from the city guys too, what their list is.
Mhm.
They're the one driving around town, even the police department, Cause there's probably things we're not even thinking about.
Right. Yeah, we're probably looking bigger picture where they're looking more,
Immediate needs.
yeah, it could be day-to-day stuff.
Yeah.
And maybe we need to look at some of that too.
Right. Right. But yeah, the comprehensive plan is good. Like I said, that's a lot more in depth. The goal setting session I thought was really good and helpful for taking us kind of the way we wanna go. So, not saying we have to do a whole goal setting. That's not kind of what I was thinking, but just to update a little bit, moving forward for the next year or two, and gives us a plan.
I kind of read through the comp plan again too, and I think the last 5 or 6 pages are the most, gives them more direction on where to focus, or, project timelines, that kind of thing. It laid out some recommendations, and, yeah. So okay, so S is for short term, I guess, and medium, and long range, and, that kind of thing. Those are just recommendations, kind of based on what the input they got from everyone that participated in the comp plan. So, you know, I don't know really how to, you don't wanna recreate the comp plan. but
Right.
How to use the comp plan to
Right.
go with our goals.
Right.
I don't know how to combine the two and have it make sense, I guess. But I'd say like the last 5 it's worth reading that, kind of get an idea of what the long-term and medium plan overall findings were, and
Mhm.
kind of compare that with our goals and see where we come up with.
It just, I think the comprehensive plan like that kind of gives you a different way of looking at your goals, right? Is it something that's, can be done, in the next year? Is it something that is gonna take 5 years? It just gives you a different perspective on how to look at some of them goals, so. So, yeah.
So how many goals, or what do you want from us, Mayor?
I would say top 5 for sure. If you can do more,
Top
great.
5 goals?
Yeah. And if it's, I guess if you wanna break it down, if you have more than 5, if you wanna break it down by, just the next budget year, if those are, kind of how you're breaking it down, or if you're looking, longer term.
Now, are these goals that you want, that are things that are done, or a combination of old and new? So I know what to tell the staff.
I would say probably more new, but it doesn't hurt to look back, on what we've done, and just kind of, just kind of see where we've been and what we've done, and kind of what we can improve on from those, so.
Okay.
But yeah, like I said, it doesn't have to be anything huge. Like I said, more than less wanted to get this conversation started, so we had an idea of kind of things we're looking at as we start moving into budget time. So we don't meet for budget, we're kind of like, well, what do we want to do this year? It just kind of gives us an idea of
Some priorities.
yeah, priorities, yeah, exactly. Yep. If that's clear as mud.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, if we do this, speaking of next meeting, typically we have only 1 meeting in December. Do we still want to just kind of try to shoot for that unless something major comes up?
Probably, I guess I haven't looked at it, see how it lays out.
I think
The calendar.
Christmas Eve may be on.
It's on
Which way was the
Tuesday.
second?
It's on it'll be the 23rd, the next one, 23rd would be the Tuesday.
Oh, okay, so
Yeah.
I might wanna have it.
Yeah, I would say we just keep it to the one, and
So,
might be, I don't know, depending on what we all have, it might be a little longer than normal, but
what,
it could be the 9th.
9th?
Yeah.
9th gonna cover everything then?
Yeah, I don't foresee anything that has to be approved after that. We'll have all our bills approved and everything, so if something major come up, we could have either a quick special meeting on another night, or, but we've done it in years past, so I don't see a problem with it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have an issue with that, I don't think we need to. So everybody's good with Okay, so any other, like I said, I didn't wanna get real in depth, with the comp plan and the goal setting, but without having a full council, but yeah, just kinda be thinking about that over the next couple weeks. And kinda different things, I've started a list, it's probably been a month and a half ago now, just different things, you know, that you think about throughout the day and something, you know, stuff that we wanna talk about either during budget or, you know, in longer term, so. A little homework for you. Everybody good with that? Okay, so let's jump down to other business, possible discussion on streetlights for West Street.
We had one of the residents on the street asking if street lighting had ever been addressed out there. And I talked to Ray about it too, and I hadn't remembered that. It was discussed more when the other side of the street is developed and done, to maybe do a little bit more instead of just your normal street lights like in
Right.
town.
Right.
So, and I told that person, you know, it's kind of the long-term goal of when that will be
Right.
lit, but I don't know. And Ray said there was a little finding a place on that side of the street, you know, without having a pole in somebody's front
On
yard.
the west side,
Yeah,
or on the east
On
side?
the east
Out-
side,
on the east-
actually.
Yeah, where the houses are.
but yeah, so,
I'd almost rather have it on the other side, right?
There is a pole kind of right across from the entrance on the north side. That might be a good spot for it.
Where?
The,
Like up towards Kunas?
yeah, I mean, it's like right across pretty much from the north entrance into West Side Park.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I didn't know if, I mean, we could use that pole or,
with interest on this.
yeah,
oh, right by Riches there?
yeah, on the other side
On
of the
the
street.
other side of the street,
Yeah,
there is a pole there.
Is there?
you know,
Yeah.
and it wouldn't light the whole street, but I mean,
Right.
it would light up the entranceway too. So
Yeah.
be kind of dual purpose.
Yeah, I know, thinking about that, and it is probably more long-term, you know, cause you don't wanna be sticking a random light somewhere. You know, you might-
Hmm.
That's what we're.
Yeah, you don't know how stuff's gonna,
Right, how it lays out.
yeah.
But we could put a light where that post is, or utility pole is now, that is started.
Mm-hmm.
I can have Ray take a look at it and see if that would help or if it's an option, or.
Yeah, I guess I'd have to drive up there at night and just kinda
Yeah.
look at it and see.
It is
what-
pretty dark up
It,
there.
yeah,
It is.
yeah, it is. Yeah,
We're good, you know, we got two
There
houses
is-
there,
right.
three houses there, so.
yeah, there is more houses there now, so.
Just so
Yeah.
you know, it has been brought up and we
Okay.
may need to do something out there.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing to talk about. It's, just get hesitant to do anything too much on the west side until more development happens, but,
Yeah, see what Ray can come up with and have him come back with something, what he recommends, or.
yeah, or if we just wanna wait.
Yeah, I don't know what it would take to put a couple poles in and some lights.
Yeah. He explained something with, since all the electrics there is underground, it's, you know,
Mm-hmm.
having a place to come from and put a pole, you know.
Right. Yeah, everything's buried out there. Okay. Well, yeah, I guess, yeah, have Ray take a look at it, and if he thinks there's a good spot, maybe we'll have to entertain it, and if not, we'll just wait and see.
Well, I didn't think you thought there was a good spot, but I didn't know about the, you know, besides the one on the east end. Maybe I'll just see if he thinks that would be beneficial
Yeah,
or
that would-
doable there as a starting point,
Right.
maybe.
Got a
Mhm.
starting point.
Right. Okay. Yep, works. Ordinance enforcement, you got anything with that, Chad, or not?
Did you guys make any decisions on the house? I know there's some discussion on maybe buying that, or?
gonna contact them, see if that was an option.
Okay, yeah, maybe it was me.
I think it was, according to the minutes.
Okay, all right.
Just see if that, you know, approach them and say, see if it's negotiable, or see if it's an option.
Yeah, whoever wants, yeah, I don't,
Are they even, would they consider selling it? Is it something they would look at or not? Definitely look at it, you know.
All right.
Just so we, not that we're gonna offer to buy it, but just to see if that's something they'd consider, if we could come to.
okay, anything else police-wise, Chad, everything good?
Yeah.
Okay. No news is good news, right?
I'll second that.
Okay, utility department updates, inspection reports, everybody got that? So,
I-
yeah, Jeremy Sullivan, went and took a look at our trucks, and that's kind of what he came back with. The update, that I heard this morning was the yellow truck, the one that had been out at Highway 64, actually the one that was recommended not to drive,
Yeah,
is really not gonna take that much more to get it ready, to get it on the road again. Matt thought a few $100s, honestly.
I'll just get it done.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's kinda the update on that. Sounds like Jeremy, you can jump in, Cheryl, if I'm speaking out of turn.
Yeah, I guess besides, okay, once we got this, and then, Jason came in and talked to me today, and he kind of reviewed from this inspection for what has already been done and what's in the process. So basically, starting at the top, the boom truck, they haven't done anything with that yet, cause it's really not a top priority.
Right.
It's limited use, and, it works for hanging Christmas lights and, but anyway. And so, yeah, the green and yellow dump truck, Jason's working on getting all the lights replaced, he has the majority of them fixed. And he'll be doing he's actually been working on the truck currently, and he'll be adjusting the brakes and getting all other things. And he did provide us with a quote today for the muffler and brackets, and let's see, I'm gonna bring up the update here. Okay, so the 1999, yeah, the muffler and brackets came to a total of $647.67. So that's what's been done or in progress on the green and yellow dump truck. The white plow truck, Jeremy's gonna replace the rear brakes and slack adjuster pins and the brake drums. And then he provided a quote for the muffler on that one, and that quote was $663.06. And then, the hydraulic and fuel lines and fittings, that was part of the inspection. He determined that it's not that drastic right now to fix those, so kind of lower priority for those things. And then, I'm not sure what he said on the life cylinder that was on that. And the Freightliner garbage truck didn't have any issues, but Jason did go ahead and pick up all the filters and the dry cartridge today, and he's gonna service that since it's about a year old already. The 1995 yellow dump, that's the one with the tie rods, and they're ordered. Jason thought they'd probably be here today or tomorrow, and he could do the repairs on that. And he also took care of the rear U-joints and the carrier bearings being ordered. So basically, like you said, a couple $100 in parts, and we should have that one back and ready to go. The backhoe, Matt Peterson went down and talked to him and been working with Jason on getting pricing on tires. Tires and More did quote $2,600 for all four. And that did include them coming out to mount them. And just to get comparison what maybe Ole would charge on mounting him, he said $150 a piece to mount them. And so, you know, Tires and More do it basically for the cut and included in pricing on the tires. So Jason didn't think that was a good option to have them mount it. You know, cause initial thought was we could do the two smaller ones ourselves and then have somebody else mount the back ones. Well,
Right.
they'll come out and do all four instead of spending $300. But we're still working on, get another quote from Tires. Matt also suggested Jason to take the vehicle to, the backhoe to Kuhnhaus, have them look it over, see what else could be coming down the pipe and before
Yeah,
spending the
'cause
$2,600 on tires,
You
maybe.
said too, there was something leaking there or something?
Yeah, see how bad the leak is and what it could
Yeah,
actually take
and
to
I don't-
fix it.
Yeah, and I don't know what it is exactly, but, Matt's kinda taking the lead on that, so
Yeah.
I'm kinda letting him run with that. As far as tires and stuff like that, I mean, are we good budget-wise? Do we have money for that stuff, or is that something that would have to wait, or?
The backhoe gets mainly used between the gas and water
Right.
and streets. So if we can get all four for the 26 and divide it amongst the three, we can probably make it work.
Okay.
Or you
Tires
can just
means
do all,
tires.
Yeah.
It's a
They do
maintenance
have,
thing. Tires mere maintenance.
yeah, without amending, you know, but if it
Right,
has,
that's,
yeah. I think Eric and I talked about that, and I think it's definitely within the water and gas budgets, whether we wanna charge streets part of it, or just leave the streets out of it and pay for it out of electric and gas, or gas and water, because they're both can afford it.
yeah. Yeah, I guess I'll leave that up to you, I just wanted to throw that out.
Yeah. No, I would think, depending on what else is wrong with it, if we proceed, you know, how much more is gonna be needed, I guess,
Yeah.
is the question.
Yeah, and a lot of this stuff too, not everything, but some of the minor stuff, you know, Jason's been real good about, jumping in and fixing, so.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we're on the right direction, and, you know, like I kinda talked about last meeting, you know, doing these more regular, so we don't have this, just a full. you
Getting
know,
sacked all at once.
yeah, yeah, so we've been trying to kind of stay up on all this stuff and keep a more updated, report on everything and inspections, so we, basically, so we cover our own butts on a lot of this stuff, so. So, yeah, that's kind of the in and out of that, right, Cheryl?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anybody have questions with anything on there?
Oh, get it
Nope.
fixed.
Oh, this is great, I like that list of everything.
Yeah.
So it'd be good to do that more frequently, you know, kind of hopefully stay ahead of things a little bit more.
Yeah, and this way too, you know, having these inspections done, it gives us more time to plan, because none of these trucks are very young. We know at some point they're gonna need replaced, they're out, and usually in the worst of the worst, you know, and so they take a beating every year. So yeah, just something to think about too, you know, kind of talk about goal stuff and prioritizing that. You know, we're gonna probably have to start talking about replacing some of these here in the next, you know, handful of years too, so. Just so we can start planning accordingly, so we don't it doesn't just jump up all of a sudden and all of a sudden we gotta figure out how we're gonna make it work, so.
Yep.
So, anyway, yeah, that's it for that, so. Okay, I think that does it for other business, right?
Yeah.
Nothing else that I know of. Anybody else got anything for other business?
The only question I had, I saw up at the Catholic Church, they dug out the ditch.
Yeah.
I don't know are they planning to try to do the concrete in the spring then, like we
No,
talked about? or
the
what's-
last we talked about, right, they were just gonna dig it out. That was kinda how it got left.
I thought so too, I didn't know
I thought they were just gonna dig it out and put rock, but that was like a year ago.
I thought we were gonna put like a little concrete,
We were originally, and then that didn't get done, right, in
Yeah.
the time frame that we talked about. So then I think Elvis came back, I don't know, 6 months later or whatever it was, 9 months. And, then we had kind of changed our thinking on that a little bit, and so we were just gonna at least get it dug out, so it's not, so it wasn't just a creep through there. We were just gonna kind of dig it out and get it, you know, get
Other,
more
put
even.
some wash rock or something, I don't know.
I know-
Yeah, I mean, as far as, and I think Elvis kind of said he knew somebody that could come in and do it, so we just kind of let him take care of it.
Yeah, well, I know when we had originally talked about pouring the concrete in, there was kind of some discussion, it's like, well, are we thinking too small on that, you know, like, do we wanna do sidewalk or
Right.
try to do something bigger as, so.
Right, and I think that's why the thinking kind of changed on that, from when we initially talked about it to when Elvis came back in. I think that's why we kind of reevaluated what everybody was thinking out there, and that's why it changed,
Okay, yeah, I couldn't remember where that
Kinda
was.
left it up to the church to do what they
Yeah.
wanted to with it.
basically.
So we don't have anything to, yeah, I can find out if it's done or if there's any,
Looks like they're almost done, but
As far as I knew, that's all they were gonna do, was just get it dug out, and then,
it looks like they got a little bit more to go yet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a little section.
There's like one section.
Yeah.
I
closer
noticed
to
this
that
morning the
entrance.
backhoe wasn't there, but then when I got off work today, it was there, so I
Oh.
Oh.
they're gonna.
Okay. Yeah, maybe just find out if they're gonna put rock, not that I care either way, as long as it's.
Yeah, I was just
They
curious.
definitely need to be dug out though.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
I think we were splitting that cost at one time.
Right.
On the original plan, we were gonna split it.
Yeah.
But then when we came back in, I think we had kind of changed our thinking on it, so.
Yeah, I don't wanna say, cause I don't know, I think maybe it was like, yeah, if you guys wanna pay for it, you guys do it.
Right. Yeah,
Probably
I think
better
it
make
was-
sure, we might get a bill yet. Cause I don't remember that, I remember having a conversation about it, I
Right.
don't know what we let it off to be.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I remember, was how we kind of left it, was we'll just let them kind of do what they wanted to do with it, and, you know, and we'll, yeah, we were gonna kind of reevaluate what we wanted to do too on our end, so. So, you know, good thing to bring up, cause I noticed that too. Okay, does anybody have anything else? We'll ask, for adjournment.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second,
Second.
and roll call please.
Adam Ryder,
yes.
Jill Meyer,
Yes.
JT